Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're putting on our health detective hats to investigate something literally millions of us do every single day. We're looking at how your favorite morning beverage might actually be working behind the scenes to protect your brain as you age.
Let's dive right into this. It's a daily ritual we share, right? We usually just pour a cup without a second thought. But what if we paused for a second to ask, is that simple, comforting cup of coffee or tea actually shaping our brain's future? Especially for us older adults who are proactively looking to protect our memory and mental sharpness, this is an absolutely crucial question.
To make all this complex medical data super easy to digest, we're going to follow a clear roadmap today. We'll start with a popular morning ritual, then look at the recent JAMA study, compare regular versus decaf coffee, understand the study's limitations, and wrap up with some practical takeaways just for you.
Okay, Section 1. A popular morning ritual. The daily habits we love.
So, we all know that amazing feeling, right? You wake up, take those first few sips, and suddenly the morning fog just lifts. For centuries, coffee and tea have been famous worldwide for these immediate, refreshing, and brain-boosting effects. But hey, while we all love that quick jolt of energy, we really need to ask what is happening to our brain health on a much longer timeline.
Which brings us to Section 2. The recent JAMA study, investigating long-term brain health.
Now, to answer that long-term question, we're looking at a recent, highly respected prospective cohort study published in JAMA. That's the Journal of the American Medical Association. Basically, researchers followed a massive group of people over a long period to see how their habits shape their health years down the road. They really wanted to know, does drinking coffee and tea actually play a measurable role in cognitive function and fighting rising rates of dementia?
And wow, what they found was fascinating. The researchers didn't just see a random link. They discovered a protective benefit against long-term dementia that scaled with consumption. It's what scientists call a dose-response effect. Put simply, the amount of regular coffee or tea you drink directly impacts the level of benefit you get. So, up to a certain healthy limit, the quantity you consume actually matters.
So here is the massive takeaway. People who drank regular coffee and tea experienced a noticeable, measurable drop in their risk for developing cognitive decline later in life. We're not talking about a tiny, barely there blip in the data here. Regular coffee and tea both showed clear, observable benefits in reducing long-term dementia risk. For anyone looking to preserve their neurological health into their later years, this is just incredibly encouraging news.
But wait, there is a catch. Section 3. Regular versus decaf coffee. The surprising twist in the data.
This is where our health mystery takes a really fascinating turn. When the researchers split the data between people who drank regular caffeinated beverages and those who drank decaf, they found a startling contrast. While the regular brews showed that clear dementia risk reduction we just talked about, decaf coffee completely failed to show the same protective effect. It just broke the pattern entirely.
Honestly, that unexpected little data point naturally makes you pause and wonder, well, why didn't decaffeinated coffee show the same cognitive benefits? What exactly is happening during the decaffeination process? Are specific helpful compounds being stripped away? Or is it the caffeine itself, acting together with other elements in the bean, that actually provides that neurological shield?
This absence of a benefit in decaf really forces scientists to look under the hood at the exact, intricate makeup of regular coffee and tea. The findings strongly suggest that there are unique neuroprotective properties existing specifically in the regular brew. It's kind of like a complex symphony of antioxidants, polyphenols, and naturally occurring caffeine that uniquely shields our neurological pathways as we age. A synergy that seems to get disrupted when you switch to decaf.
All right, Section 4. Understanding the study limitations. Reading the fine print.
Now, as good health detectives, we absolutely have to read the fine print to build a complete picture. First off, this is an observational study over time, which means it shows a really strong correlation, not definitive causation. Second, it cannot declare that coffee alone is some absolute miracle cure that prevents dementia. And finally, your individual health profile, your genetics, diet, and other lifestyle factors are always going to play a massive role in your overall cognitive longevity.
Understanding these limitations is so important for keeping us grounded. Please don't go drinking pots and pots of coffee if your doctor tells you to watch your heart or your sleep. We really must view this medical data rationally, balancing our optimism about these findings with scientific reality. It's a great piece of the puzzle for older adults, but it's not the entire picture.
Let's wrap it all up. Section 5. Practical takeaways for you applying the science daily.
The absolute most reassuring takeaway from this JAMA study is that your beloved morning ritual is likely doing some really excellent work to preserve your long-term memory. Enjoying your daily cup of regular coffee or tea isn't just a guilty pleasure. It is a scientifically backed, healthy habit for your brain's future. But keep that interesting decaf twist in mind. If you're currently drinking decaf or you're thinking about switching to it, you really should be fully aware that you might be missing out on this specific neurological protection. Decaf absolutely has its place for those who are sensitive to caffeine, for sure, but it just doesn't appear to carry the same dementia-fighting properties as the regular brew.
So, armed with this awesome new understanding of dose-response effects, neuroprotective properties, and that stark difference between regular and decaf, the science is pretty clear. As we wrap up this explainer, I'll leave you to reflect on this fascinating science and ask yourself, how will this knowledge shape your morning ritual tomorrow?